Last year I made a video taking a look at everything Steven Universe related. The original show, the movie, and the sequel series, Steven Universe Future. While I do think the video still holds up a bit, nah, just kidding, I took that video down. I wanted to look at the movie again. I'm at the phase to where I just want to redo some of my older videos, mainly the ones I feel like I can get more of my thoughts across. I am also extremely self-conscious about the way I look, so it's gonna be a minute till I show my face in another video. This movie was announced at San Diego Comic-Con in 2018. The teaser did its job at making people curious as to who is this new character with the heart-shaped gem. In 2019, a week before Comic-Con, a new poster was revealed, showing a glimpse of the new villain and the older Steven. A week later, the first trailer dropped. The trailer showed off more of the film's antagonist, going by the name of Spinell. There was also a second trailer that aired on Toonami a few months later, which I had no idea existed until now, but this was also at the time where I felt like I didn't need to have cable. The film was released on September 2nd, 2019, and Cartoon Network wanted to make sure everybody was caught up, because they had a whole marathon called Every Steven Ever. The movie was praised by many fans for its music, animation, and the art style for Spinell. And what did I think? I didn't watch it. Luckily, on November 12th of the same year, the movie saw a physical release, which I didn't know existed until I went to Walmart and it caught my attention. I bought it, of course, and my sister and I watched it together. Once we finished the movie, our minds were blown. I forgot to mention, yes, I am a fan of the series. I watched it a lot during middle school and a bit of my freshman year in high school. After the original show finished, I'll admit I kind of fell off the show, and I wasn't following the show as much as I used to. After watching the movie, it made me want to go right back into the series when Future was released. In all honesty, I didn't start watching Future until we were all quarantined. My thoughts on the show were mixed, but that's for another time that might not ever happen. So in this little essay, I'm here to tell you about the beauty of Steven Universe the movie. After the events of the show, we're shown just how much things have changed since then, and it's extremely satisfying to see everyone and everything at peace thanks to Steven. And it's funny to see the Diamonds become so obsessed with Steven that they don't even want him to leave. Once one of the catchiest songs of the film, Happily Ever After, is over with, Steven, Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl just relax, until Spinell crashes the party with their ejector, slowly killing the planet. While Spinell is singing another fire song, Other Friends, she takes out Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl. Steven tries to take out Spinell, but Spinell ends up attacking Steven. Steven manages to take the upper hand, and Spinell's poof. Steven tries to bubble Spinell, but we find out that Steven's powers are messed up. While at Steven's house, we find out that the rejuvenator used on the gems wiped their memories. So the rest of the movie is Steven trying to get his friends back to their normal selves by singing and dancing, and one by one, everyone starts to gain their memory back. Even Spinell starts to get memory back. We find out that Spinell was friends with Pink Diamond, and they'd always hang out in the garden. One day, Yellow and Blue Diamond inform Pink that she's earning her own colony, which means that she'll have to leave Spinell behind. I'm talking for thousands of years. Spinell sat in that one spot waiting for Pink and didn't hear anything from her until the beginning of the film. Spinell's memories are back, thankfully, and Steven gets her to calm down and listen, so they can make the ejector stop. Once everything is done, Spinell starts to wonder what happens after this. Steven drops the rejuvenator, and that's what sets Spinell off. Spinell slams her ejector to the ground, while also taunting Steven to attack her. Luckily, in the nick of time, Garnet comes back to help out. The last hope is to get Spinell to have a change of heart, so Steven makes it on top of the injector to confront Spinell. Spinell tries to kill Steven, but thankfully Steven has a breakthrough. He gains his powers back and confronts Spinell one last time. As Spinell continues to attack, she ends up having a breakdown, all because she wants a friend. The injector is destroyed, and Spinell agrees to try and change. The Diamonds appear to harass Steven, but catch a glimpse of Spinell, and they take her to homeworld. And just like that, Spinell makes new friends. As we get a montage of everyone fixing Beach City, we get another rendition of Happily Ever After, closing off with Steven and the gang on a Broadway stage. I love the way this movie ends. I love the fact that this movie isn't trying to be something that only Steven Universe fans can enjoy. The movie gives a small recap at the beginning of the film if you're new to the series. Still recommend you watch the show, but it's neat. I know one thing that people love to clown Steven Universe for on Twitter is the show's art style. People refuse to acknowledge that animation takes a long time to finish. And for people to call animators lazy truly shows how entitled you are. And it's usually the folks who can't draw that complain. I swear, Steven could sneeze and some way will drop a thread on Twitter. I say all that to say I love the way this movie looks. One thing TV movies have to do is make the film feel cinematic, and not just make it seem like a longer episode of the show. The cinematography is great. It's nothing spectacular, but for what appears, it makes me feel like I'm watching the movie instead of a dragged out episode. One thing that makes me happy is seeing characters in a TV movie have this smooth movement to them. You know what I mean, right? Those scenes in the movie where animators go crazy when a character moves, I just love to see it. The one character who I think has the most unique looking art style is Spinel. Once she loses her memories, she turns into this exaggerated character with the style of a 50s cartoon. The way they animate Spinel is impressive. When she bounces everywhere, stretches her arms to hug anyone, there's so much squash and stretch going on here. Also some exaggeration here and there. Even when she's evil, all that expressive animation is still there. She still has that cartoony moveset, but still manages to be intimidating. I love how they went all out with Spinel. She's not the only character to have this much effort though. Steven is at his best in this film. I dig the way older Steven is designed. He's grown up, but he's still the light-hearted kid from the original series. The way he moves or when he fights is so smooth. And the musical number Change, a song I'll cover in a bit, Steven feels alive at this moment. The punches they throw at each other are so fluid. The song number also gives us some impressive shots in the entire film. Another great way to describe the animation is that everything pops out. The colors are so on point. I've always been a fan of how the original show did its backgrounds. I love the way they look, and it's no exception here. The movie continues to use beautiful backgrounds throughout. These are things you expect from a TV movie, but they went above and beyond. And I love that.
Make a wish.
The movie is a musical. Rebecca Sugar has always been a fan of musicals, so it makes sense for her to do it in her own show. She did one a while back with the episode Mr. Greg, which was a good first attempt, and this film doesn't disappoint. The songs in this film are easily the best aspect. Every song had me humming. They further the story without making the plot feel like it's taking a break. I like how they use the songs to help the characters regain their memories by singing in the style they're familiar with. Let Us Adore You is sung by the Diamonds, and it's sweet and funny. Happily Ever After was such a great song to start the film off with. Other Friends was my favorite for the longest. It's a great villain song with so much energy. I don't know the name of this Pearl song, but it's alright. Who We Are was pretty good too. It's not the song I'll listen to often, but I like what it was doing. Mixing this song by Bismuth with the sad version of Happily Ever After. Since not only did Steven lose his powers, he lost the gems because they forgot who they are. The song serves as a motivation song for Steven, and it sounds good. Oh shit, I forgot about Isn't It Love. Where Ruby and Sapphire refuse to become Garnet, we hear the song. It's short, but not bad. No matter what, it's the song for Amethyst. This is also one of my favorite songs on the soundtrack. It's so sweet to see Steven help Amethyst gain her memories back by doing the stuff they usually do. I'm sorry, I don't like Disobedient. And Independent Together was just an okay song, but the animation was on point. Drift Away is sung by Spinel, and it shows a sad backstory. I love how every time we get back to the chorus, Spinel slowly gains her memories back. And you can see in her face that she realized that Pink Diamond did her dirty. And once we get to the final part of the song, Spinel completely changes back to her normal self. I love this part where Spinel is hurt and Steven stays to make her feel better by singing the song Found. Easily the best duet in the film. When Garnet gets her memories back, she sings True Kinda Love, which is undoubtedly my favorite. Steven's part always gave me goosebumps. It's so good. The song for the final confrontation is Change, which I accidentally said how I felt about the scene earlier, but nevertheless, still a great song. After the second version of Let Us Adore You plays with Spinel, the final song that plays is Happily Ever After, but this time, they actually get to live the Happily Ever After. The ending song always puts a smile on my face. I love the soundtrack for this movie. I know the music was going to be in good hands because of the show's track record, and I enjoy the energy they gave off. This is how you do a musical properly. Yeah, that was my final talk point. This is what happens when you dedicate 2 months of your life to a long video essay. Thankfully, I have a person that can make this video longer than I originally intended. And he edited his own footage, so hell yeah, come in.
When I went into Steven Universe the movie, I didn't really have any expectations for it. I had watched the original Steven Universe and the epilogue series Future. I knew about Spinel and that she came around to destroy what Pink Diamond did for Earth because of what she did to Spinel. However, I didn't think the movie was going to actually be this good. I'm a person who loves to hyperanalyze things and critique them on a very nitpicky level. However, I really didn't have anything to complain about in this movie. Since I really don't have a lot of time since I promised him I wouldn't make my part like an hour long, I really am just going to talk about the things I liked in this movie and what exceeded my expectations. The first thing to emphasize in this movie is that it really goes along with the grounds of being a musical production. It's written to include a lot of songs in the dialogue, but unlike many musicals that contain little to no substance or understandable plot, this one actually carries a lot of weight. Me being surrounded by musical performance my whole life really made me appreciate this movie for being what it so obviously was going after. This music in this movie is absolutely mesmerizing and comes together so well in every single scene of this movie. There's a constant background soundtrack to this movie that you really don't get to see a lot anymore, probably because no one can put it together this well. Rebecca Sugar really put their foot in this shit, because you really can't even sit there and say that any song wasn't fucking fire. Since this kind of segues better with the musical element of this movie, I want to say really quickly how well the ending was of this movie. After coming to its major climax, a mere 15 minutes before the ending of the movie, the falling action and conclusion really comes together perfectly to draw every single emotion out of the viewer. The amount of tears that the ending of the movie produced from me, I counted to be about 3.5, and it deserves them all. Spinell obviously finds a place to actually atone for what she did with the diamonds. It's kind of perfect for them. Even though, like, if the diamonds have just showed up maybe 10 minutes earlier, this movie would have ended right there. When you compare the conversation Steven was having with the diamonds at the beginning of the movie and then look at what the diamonds were after at the end of the movie, it really makes sense. The movie foreshadows things to come to fruition that I think that the audience wouldn't immediately pick up on. For a lot of movies, they foreshadow things to happen in the future so obviously that it's painful to watch, because then you get to state the criticism that the movie was predictable. Simply, this movie just uses the element way better than many other movies that I've seen, and obviously, for a kids show, it's impressive. The thing I really wanted to get across from this movie was a point to watch it. I'm in preparation mode of making my own video on my channel looking into the Steven Universe series, and as of writing this is my first time actually watching the movie. Like I had said, I knew about the movie and its plot from just watching Future. I didn't really see a point to watching it. When I talked to Jalil, aka Large Black Male, about not finding a point in watching the movie if you already knew what was going to happen, he urged me anyways to watch it because it was a good watch anyway. That nigga happened to be right. So when Tim wanted me to come on this project talking about this movie, I had my point to watch it. My point was to watch it so I could do the segment. However, I didn't feel that way anymore after watching it. I feel like my original point in watching this movie has now been overshadowed by the absolutely magnificence this movie has. It actually blows my mind that I didn't give it a chance, like I didn't give a chance to so many other different projects. It's a clouded mindset I have that I don't want to end up watching something and then not liking it. But I actually did. This movie is just a really cute experience for the audience. After experiencing along with what Steven has gone through growing up and learning about his past with the crystal gems and by proxy his mother, it's a very fitting continuation of that same plot. The movie doesn't seem like a one-off project. It fits in so well with the actual story of the OG series and actually makes sense with it being canon with the universe of Steven Universe. Genuinely, I urge people to go and watch this movie, at least if you know the general idea of what happens in Steven Universe, as it's actually a really good movie to introduce you into the aged up timeline of Steven growing up and coming into himself. A kid that has gone through hell and back to protect the world and the people within it, getting to finally achieve what was meant for him in the future. Also, for y'all niggas that bashed on the animation in this movie with Spinell's movement, have you heard of fucking smear animations? What are you, fucking Pablo Picasso? Oh, I don't like how messy the animation is. Who the fuck made you king of art, my nigga? Did you have the same complaints for Phineas and Ferb, Johnny Bravo, Looney Tunes, Ed and Eddie, and motherfucking SpongeBob when they did it? No? That's fucking crazy. Nah, you're just fucking complaining with this faceless anime Twitter Abby about the movie because the rocks are gay. Goddamn Roger face ass. Goddamn unlucky neck ass. You got something else to complain about?
Why you hitting a
boring ass nigga on Twitter?
Shut the fuck up, nigga, and watch this goddamn combo.
Obviously, I've been Qingly, or you can just call me Kiwi. Thank you to Tim for allowing me onto his beautiful video. And y'all have a great evening, night, afternoon, morning, whatever it may be. Mwah.
I love this movie. It's crazy to think that this film got me back into the series. Despite what I think about Steven Universe Future, I can always give praise to this film for helping me realize how much I like the series. Even with all its flaws, the animation is clean, and the music, unsurprisingly, was amazing. I always had this thought in my head, what if Steven Universe ended after the movie? In my opinion, you can take this any way you want, but if the show were to end right here after the movie, I would have been satisfied with the conclusion.
Stay. Tell me that you love me anyway. I don't wanna play. I don't want nobody that you wait. I don't wanna play. I don't want nobody when you wait.
I don't have any jokes to close this out with. See ya.
They need to come and shine the check low.